Okay. So, hello everyone, and welcome to another Money Magic series. Thank you for joining us today. So, this is a money class where our guest teacher is Lebo Pule, and she is going to share with us how her money story, which is so amazing because it's all about how she went from being a millionaire in her 20s to then filing for bankruptcy, and now where she is, where she's building this incredible company. And I'll have her tell you more about that. And a huge component of it is also on social media, and there's some investments involved. So she's really managed to turn her finances around. And that's why I've invited her to come talk to us, because I really, really love turnaround stories. So this series is brought to you by Wealthy Money, where money and emotions meet. My name is Vangile Makwakwa, and I am the author of the Holistic Wealth Manifesto and Heart, Mind, and Money, and I'm the founder of Wealthy Money. So I will be your host for this class. So, Lebo, before we even get started, please tell us about yourself and what you do.
Okay, I wear many hats. It's very hard to answer this question, but to be quite brief, I was born and bred in a place called Alexandra in a township in South Africa. I am a visionary. I've always been, hearing a different drama. I've always followed my own little path. I'm a bit of a loner, and many people don't believe that. I am a serious loner. Yes, people like us have a lot of contradictions. I love solitude. I love to read. I'm also a secret geek. I read everything about everything. I believe I'm a teacher. Just to answer the question of what do I do, I believe I'm a teacher, and it's something that I have discovered, I think, last year. I've always known, but rather I've started owning it from last year. And I believe I'm one of the light makers in the world.
Yeah. So, guys, just to interrupt for 5 seconds before I go on to the next question. When you hear the ding, ding, ding in the background, don't worry about it. It's just people joining the class. So it makes a noise. I think there's something in the program, the settings, that I can go and I can mute that. So I think I forgot to do that. So my bad. And so, Lebo, tell us, I think everybody wants to know the story about how did you become a millionaire in your early 20s at such a young age? Everybody wants to know that.
Okay, first off, I started working very young. I was 18 when I had my first job at First National Bank. And by the time I was 26, I had job hopped. I had worked for nearly 11 companies. And that was because I could not fit in. Then I was a job hopper of note. I would resign for virtually anything. I would resign because the aircon is too cold. I would resign because the offices are far. I would resign because there's too many black people. I'd resign because there's too many white people. I would resign. But then and I'm telling you this on purpose because I could not fit in, because my role in the world is to create something, is a visionary. I have a visionary archetype. So this is why I couldn't fit in. And I always say that I have a very bully inner self. My true self is very bully. It doesn't allow me to do things that it doesn't want to do. So, age 26, I am working for a big firm. They are supplying office furniture. They're doing interiors and alterations. And I am one of the greatest sales ladies there. And one day, I was in a client's office, and the client said to me, "You know what, Lebo? If you were to start your business tomorrow, I would give you all the work that I'm giving to your company now." And much as I knew that I do have an entrepreneurial spirit, I was not ready for that. But hey, why not? So I took it up. I took up the offer. I registered the company. 2 months later, I got some of his business. My first order was 600,000 to supply a lot of office furniture. Now, 600,000 back then was a hell of a lot of money. A month
Still
later, I
is,
got
actually.
is it? Yeah, it kind of still
Yes.
is. But
Six
if you
hundred
have
thousand can buy you a house.
yeah, well, and then you back to square one. But anyway, then I got 400,000 order, and then 200,000, and then another 300,000. And because I'm naturally a great salesperson, I got other orders from other customers. So I literally basically stole my previous employers' clients. And I'm saying this proudly because I did write about it, and I did apologize to him, and I did the letter and the whole apology thing when I was down and out. But that is how, by the end of 2002 or end of 2003, to be quite specific, I was considered a millionaire because my business was run by me alone, and I had turned over nearly 3 million rands. And yeah, that's it. One man supplying office furniture.
Wow, that is amazing. So,
and just to be clear, sorry, Van, just to be clear before you go, I was supplying office furniture as a middleman. I did not manufacture the furniture. So I would buy from manufacturers and I would sell to customers. Yeah.
So you were in the perfect position because you didn't have to worry about manufacturing overheads. You didn't have to worry about so much. You just had to worry about servicing clients.
Yes, and selling and making sure they're getting the right stuff, and that was it.
So I mean, that sounds like an incredible setup, because I can tell you, if I didn't have to worry about creating things, writing things, I love that. That's really what my mission is. So I don't know if I would be happy, but I can see the amazing benefits to a business for that, because I think we all have a role to play. So sure. I'm just wondering, how did it all go wrong with this amazing setup? What went wrong? What did you do?
The story, I've told it so many times. Okay, here's what went wrong. Year one, I'm making all this money and I'm deciding, no, man, I'm a businesswoman now. I can't be renting a flat or living in a townhouse and driving small cars. So I consumed the money. That's what went wrong. So I bought myself a house. I bought a couple of cars and I kept changing them. I spent money like a crazy woman. We would go on holidays, every school holidays with my kids. I never ever accounted. I never even had proper financial systems in place. I never thought I needed them. I thought, you get a sales and then you invoice and money's in your bank account and you can draw it and do whatever you can with it. The second thing is that I didn't realize that in as much as I'm turning over such good monies, I'm not making much profit. My margins are too low. My margins were great in the first year, but by the second, third year, I was not making money. For an example, I like to use this example. If you manufacture the desks, and your invoice to me is 100,000. My invoice to my client on your work would be 110,000, for an example.
Wow.
So my margins were very low. I know, but who knew? I thought all the money was mine, and I would pay them whenever I want to pay them. For an example, instead of paying you 100,000 that I owe you, I'd pay you 80 because I'll pay you the other one next week or next month. And that worked for a while. It worked when money was still flowing in, when the cash flow was good. When the cash flow stopped, all those leftovers, all those monies that I didn't pay piled up again, and it becomes one big mess. That's what went wrong. Is I didn't know how to manage my finances.
Wow.
And spending.
Yes. Wow, that's incredible. So then what was the next step? So I think this is really the hardest part, right? This is the financial trauma. So as everything was going on, you eventually had to file for bankruptcy. Walk us through that, like some of the emotions that came up around money.
Noticed. all of them are in retrospect. When things are happening, there is no, hey, this is what I'm feeling. Hey, this is what it's doing. When things are happening, you are in survival mode. So your instinct is, I can't die, because survival mode is our primitive brain that wants you to survive, right? So just to walk you through, the business was started 2001. By 2002, I was obviously living it up. 2003, I am living it up, but still doing all these dodgy things of not paying people nicely and paying them on time. And then I went and I bought a showroom and I employed people. I was just rough with money.
Wow.
Things started really cracking by 2005 when business was not coming. You know, in business, as you know, there are seasons, there are waves. There's time where no one is buying your stuff. There's industrial slump where everybody knows this time of the year or this time no one's buying. So 2005 was that year. And I have a bunch of invoices that I'm not paying properly. Clients are not buying, and things are now sort of cracking or falling apart. My mind is on positive, believe it or not. My mind is saying, any day now, I'll get that big tender and I'll solve all this problem. My mind is busy massaging and charming the bank manager to increase the overdraft, because I'm going to be fine. I'm on survival mode, even with those kind of monies that comes into my bank account, which talks to the whole spiritual aspect of surviving or thriving. You can thrive with 100 rand, like you said, or you can survive with hundreds of thousands in your account. So all the emotions came in 2007 when I was back home in my mom's house and pregnant, literally pregnant and barefoot in the kitchen. And looking back, the first thing that came to mind was I was extremely, extremely blessed to have what I had. Because I did not I did not know what I had. I did not know that at 26 or at 27, to have had an opportunity to be in the space that I was at was a huge blessing. Not everybody had that opportunity. So that was first thought, wow, this is where I was. And the depth of how far I have fallen hit me for the first time in 2007.
Wow. And then how do you, because I think there's a lot of people that are in situations where they feel like my financial situation is so dire. How do I work through it, you know? And I just want you to talk about, what did you do to get yourself out of there? So let's start with, just tell me about the spiritual things. What was your first thing that you did? Was it practical, spiritual, or emotional, or did you do them all in tandem? Because I did everything in tandem. I had no option. I was struggling on every level. So I just decided to do all of them. What did you do?
Okay, I went the spiritual route first. So I'm home. I'm pregnant. It's 2007. I can't actually do anything except accept where I am. You see, the thing is, sometimes we struggle to accept who we are and where we are, right? But some situations are so bad that honestly, all you can do is accept. That's what rock bottom does. And I came across old books that I used to read. You know, I started reading very young. I started reading spiritual books at a very young age. And I came across How to Heal Your Life by Louis Hayes. It just appeared. I mean, I hadn't read that book in a long time, and it just appeared. So I started consuming a lot of those kind of books, Louis Hay, Deepak Chopra, Wayne Dyer, Neil Donald Walsh. But strangely, when I never attached it to finances. I wanted to restore my soul, you know, but I was still divorced to the fact that money is a big part of the spiritual journey. So I did not heal that part. So I remained terrified of money, because what money did in my life was it came and it made me happy and it ran. I stopped trusting it, and I think I closed that chapter. I'm telling you this for a reason, because 2008, then I got a job again, and in 2010 I decided, okay, I'm naturally a business person, let me go back to business. And I did not make money. So 2006, 2007, it's my bankruptcy, right? Now, 2010 to up to 2013, it was Lebo broke, barely survived. Why? Because I had not linked my spirituality and money.
Yes.
So I have
but
this
why
business.
Would you? Everyone in our society constantly tells us that money, like if you look at a lot of the spiritual teachings, we are constantly told that, well, to evolve beyond this material plane is the ultimate. But nobody actually says the obvious, that for me to be able to spend months at ashrams, to be able to go to yoga retreats, to be able to do all these things costs money. Those plane tickets, those ashram, the food is not cheap. And a lot of these places charge quite a bit. So all these things cost money. So my enlightenment has come at a cost on its own, you know. And that's just one, the process of enlightenment itself. So let's just get real and be honest that for us to live the spiritual life requires us to also have money to be able to support it. So that's just one aspect, but then there's so many layers to it as well.
True. It actually surprised me how long it took me, because, you know, then around 2010 was when my social media activity was becoming sort of noticed, and I had found that, hey, I actually like this. I'm in my happiest space when I'm posting things on Facebook and dialoguing with people. And I would then go back home with absolutely broke, without any of my so-called clients, because what I then went and did in 2010 was, I'm going to teach people how to sell, especially entrepreneurs. I'm going to teach them sales, and I'm also going to teach them to avoid the mistakes that I made with my first business. So it was natural for me to go that route. But guess what? Nobody wanted to pay. Nobody paid. And then I started posting about entrepreneurship. Every Wednesday I had a hashtag called Entrepreneur Wednesday, and a lot of people would inbox me wanting my service, and I would travel without petrol going to meet them, only to get like lousy amounts. I would tell people to donate. Honest, I would never charge. I would say, okay, just donate for my petrol.
Been there, done that.
Yes. Oh, no, you haven't. Really? Have you? Because that embarrasses me, by the way. Have you done that?
Well, I haven't gone to places, but I have given so much of my stuff for free. Lebo, there's a reason why I do the work that I do, right? Like, I've been through the whole, like, not people would ask me, how much do you charge? And then I would, like, in my head, discount it by 50% and then say the lower amount. Yo, gosh. And then, like, literally, I would beg. I was worse than you. I would beg people to let me work for them for free so that I could prove myself and prove what I had to offer.
I think I did the begging via my Facebooking. I think it was another way of begging, you know, because I would give such pearls of wisdom, such concrete stuff, but I wouldn't want them to pay for it. And if someone says, come and give a talk on entrepreneurship, for an example, or leadership, how much do you charge? And then I would ask them, how much do you have?
Yes. So
and if someone says I have 2,000, I would take it.
Wow. I was extremely lucky with the speaking. I never got an opportunity to do that because it was after the book had been published, and then it was just like there were a lot of things happening, and I have this incredible speaking mentor, and he was just like, oh, you know? And so it was interesting because I was able to apply the book, the work that I was teaching in the book, and also all the stuff. But it was interesting when you're trying to make that transition, because that's when I got the most offers to speak for free, to promote myself, to do things like that. And my mentor was like, do you really need the money? Are you going to starve if you don't do anything for free? I was like, I may starve if I do it for free, you know? So it was interesting to have someone hold the space for me and keep reminding me all the time. He would even call people and call corporates and say, this is what she is worth. And he's quite well known in the industry and very well respected. So that was just it, you know? So I learned a lot from that experience, and I think it helped me incredibly as well. And which was very important, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can still hear me because I'm losing you.
No, I can hear you.
Okay, I lost a big part of what you said. The last time I heard was I had a good mentor, but it's fine. I went back to where I was sitting. I suppose it was my move.
Yeah. Sorry, no, I was just saying I had a really good mentor. But anyway, so Lebo, you went the spiritual route and you started doing the inner work. What came up?
Okay. So I'm doing the inner work. Inner work means obviously reading the Yanlas of this world, the Oprah stuff, meditation, and what came up was, first, you need to be very, very good at what you do and give people authentically and give them the good stuff, because there isn't a lot of that. Okay.
Yes.
But how do you give the good stuff and still charge, right? So I'm stuck in that space. And then what came up was I bumped into someone's book. I remember it was 2012. A lady called Kiki Theo. I think I told you about her. Kiki Theo wrote a book called Money Alchemy. And for the first time in my life, I read something about, because all along I am really worried about my broke state. I don't understand why I'm constantly broke. So I bumped into Kiki Theo's book, Money Alchemy, and it was for the first time in my life where the link between my spiritual self and my work in the world has to have money. And oh boy, did I get rattled. The first thing that came up was, no. I want money, but I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to do the work. I want to do my work in the world of teaching, of giving information and sharing knowledge. But money must just somehow come. I don't want to have some form of relationship. I mean, one of the theories which you talk about as well, Van, is, having a relationship, having a conversation. And the first thing that came up was, I do not trust this thing. I'm terrified of money. So that was the first, and that was a surprise. That, am I really terrified of money? And money was like, yeah, dude, I mean, look at you. You don't even want to talk about me. You beg me. You ask for the littlest. I mean, I would ask for the littlest. If the little is 100 rand, I would ask for 50 rand. So, that was the journey of my discovering. I discovered I'm scared, and I discovered I don't trust it.
Okay, so now you discovered you're scared, you discovered you don't trust it. What do you do next?
I continue to not trust. No, but you see, the thing with spiritual work and the inner work with money is that once you stare something, it's no longer unsteerable. So you can't close that door. And what the universe does is that it will lead you to where you need to go. It's like the whole Jonah. I love the Jonah metaphor. The Jonah who went to Nineveh via the whale. So what started happening is that the money challenges were glaring. So for an example, I would have a talk, maybe say at Mpumalanga, and because I don't ask for deposit, for a booking deposit, I would not have petrol to make it to the venue that day. And so the challenges were so much. I was pushed, and then I'm I'm just trying to get to a point where when things turned around, because I want us to get there, but I do want to walk people through. So I would then ask for money. I mean, my lowest, and one of the questions you sent me was, what was your lowest point where you thought, okay, it's now or never? Was when I literally felt like I'm begging for people. For an example, I have this wonderful man that I had met, and I literally lived off him like a beggar, you know, and asking for things like airtime. Meanwhile, you are posting these amazing things on Facebook, and you are going through some hell financially. And what I loved about my Facebooking was that I never flaunted. I never made people think I'm rich. I never lied about my situation, but I omitted to talk about it. Omission is also another form, but I never spoke about it. I still did the work because I believed someday. I also did the victim thing where I thought I'll post something amazing and maybe MTN will see it and give me some. Yeah, or maybe a company. Meanwhile, the work is piling. People are writing to me. We've got mail. People are asking things from me. People are needing help. And guess what I'm doing? I am helping.
Because,
I am hoping.
You are putting out that energy of, I am at this place where you want to be. I remember when we first met, we had this conversation where you were asking, does this happen? I was like, no, because my energy is not, there's an energy that if you put it out there, then people will definitely be asking as part of that process, right? Because the universe wants you to get into a space of, who are you? Own your authenticity, like be open and honest about it so that people in your space are not asking. Because that's when I always say to people, the first thing I say, that one of the blog posts that I wrote about was, how do you stop family from asking you money? People are constantly asking me that. And I just say, you're just authentic with your family. You tell them exactly your vision, where you are, what you want to do, etc., etc. And then they will now know this is her real situation, this is her vision, this is where her money is going. So they now know when you say you're not going to be able to help them, you're being deathly honest. You know, you're coming from a space of authenticity. So you're basically saving yourself a lot of drama and time from people, from having to feel guilty about saying no. But you're very open. And what I found with people, family, friends, everyone they are even more supportive. Like, I think when I met you, I told you that now I'm in the exact opposite situation with my family, where people ask, do you need anything? Not can I have anything?
Are you kidding? I remember that. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Like, they literally say, do you need anything? Not can I have. That's the one thing that I'm always, of all the dramas that I have with my family, like the one drama that I definitely do not have with them is around money. Because everyone, because I told and shared the vision from the get-go. So everyone gets, what is this vision? What is she doing? I'm not totally crazy. They may think I'm crazy, but they see bits and pieces of it coming together. So they get excited in the process, because now, like, they've seen over the years. So now it's easy. Do you need anything? Can I help you? You know, instead of them just saying, because I'm like, we will all eat when the vision happens, right? But to get there, we must all sacrifice, you know?
No, I was really, really inspired by that. And you were a very big part of my turnaround after I've met you, because I don't know if this makes sense, but I'm going to say it anyway because my heart wants me to say it. The fact that you were a Black woman from South Africa who's doing this work was a big plus for me. You know, because a lot of money work or money spirituality were always with the others, you know, and I don't mean it disrespectfully, and I don't want to be racialistic, but the fact that I could identify with you was a big plus. And secondly, you said something to me that changed everything. when we were talking, you said we're speaking about marriage and houses and money. I mean, the things that we always talk about. And you said, but Lebo, how does getting married and buying a bond house contribute to my vision? Because I want to see the world. I want to do this kind of work. I want to go to India. I want to go to Korea. I want to do this. I want to do that. I don't see how getting married ties in with that. And what that made me realize is that money is at the center of everything that we do. Then the turnaround for me was in 2014. The beginning was in 2014, where I said I am not going to charge less than 5,000 rands for my talks. The free talks, I will choose. I will choose that I will come talk for free. This pro bono thing that everybody was into, give me, is going to stop. And the first thing that happens is that all the talks requests drop. Hey, people. So you don't get requests. And then 2015, honestly, 2015 was my transformation. 2015, I was in demand, and that's when money started coming in. But then there was this thing that I had to now honestly deal with my trust, because like I told you once, money would come in and then dead, broke. So I'd go from having,
and I really love this, but I wanted to ask, like, because I know you had these conversations with your spirit of money, did that help around the trusting factor?
It's now. Last year and this year, the trust is so intense that it's actually scaring me. I'm scared of that side. No, honestly, then I'm at a place where I literally do summon money. I just say, okay, I need to do this and this and this and go here and there. In 2 weeks, are you in? You know, this is me and money. Are you in? And money always says yes, because what money is a big.
So you're having a conversation. This is you having the conversation with your spirit of money when you ask, my spirit. Are you in?
Yes, are you in? And the spirit of money always says, oh, dude, why are you even wasting time? It's like, when? The trust issues. Here's another fascinating thing. The more I have deeper trust with my money spirit, the more I have deeper trust with my people as well, the people around me. I trust.
I never ever linked that before, Lebo. I think I need a minute.
Yeah, you do. I think it's a big revelation for me. The more I trust my money, the more I trust my life, the more the people in my life I trust. And Joy can attest to that, because, you know, I don't know if Joy's in here.
She's on the call. She's on the call, okay. But she's muted. Yeah.
Okay. So, and my boyfriend also, I started trusting him even more. So that whole exercise of if money was a lover, or if money was a relationship, or your mother or something, how would you treat them? I took it further to a point where I do literally see my mother in a different light. My trust issues with her have gotten better. My relationships with those that are close to me has gotten better. And one has gotten so authentic and true. Money wants truth. That's what I'm learning. Just tell the truth. Yeah. How much do you need? What do you need it for? And then use it for that. Don't say I need 50,000 rands because I want to deposit for a car, and then you get 50,000 rands and then you start buying bags and other things. That you can't do that.
I so love what you're saying, Lebo. Sorry if you see me moving around. I'm just plugging my phone so that it doesn't die. So I'm just trying to find a plug in the house. I might actually have to move it.
I just love how confident you are with the webinar, and you're not scared that people are not seeing you with makeup and you're wearing a duke. I don't know. I need to get over it.
I think I decided a while back that, like, for me to do this work, I need to show up exactly as I am. So just for 5 seconds, everybody can see my suitcase. I'm a hot mess.
Then it took me 10 years.
No, I just feel like I've always wanted to do this work from a space of authenticity. I never want people to feel, I want me to be part of this journey, because the way that you show up, and this is a big thing that I learned about money, just like you have learned about authenticity and being honest, is that when you add levels of dishonesty, then money will come to you through dishonest people and with dishonesty linked. And that will create problems and hazards for your space and your life. So I've just been like, no, I don't want that. I just want as much honesty and for money to come in honest ways, because the amount of time that it takes us to untangle the dishonesty around money, it's too much time, you know? So, yeah.
Now, that's a very interesting element. That's very, very interesting. So tell the truth, ask for what you want, and the money spirit is always on your side. It will really make the things happen.
Because money will see that you trust him or her, whatever your money spirit is, to show up for you as you are. It's like a relationship, you know, if you're in and I love using romantic relationships as an example. If you start out in a lie with the person, the relationship cannot, you're already making it a shaky relationship to start off with. And if you continue on that lie and you're constantly lying about the person you're dating or lying to the person you're dating, eventually it's going to come out. When you lie about the person you're dating, so imagine you're dating money and you're lying about money and pretending that the person is more than what they are. At some point, the person is going to ask, are you ashamed of me? Are you ashamed of what we have? So when you're lying about money in any way or shape or form about your life, then actually what you're saying to money and to the spirit of money is, I am ashamed of what we've got going on here. I'm ashamed of you. I'm ashamed of what you've got going on. And then imagine in a relationship, how does a man feel or how does a woman feel if they feel like you are ashamed of them in this relationship? Eventually that person is going to stop coming through for you. They're going to stop being in your space, you know. So just by being truthful about your relationship with money or your relationship with the person, and obviously just like every other relationship, I don't have to tell you everything. I don't have to tell you the intimate details, but the details that you see, they can be the authentic details.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. Nothing to add. Take the next. And
So, Lebo, you were saying that you have a relationship where you now talk to money and you have the trust factor going.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what else do you do?
Okay, maybe let me continue on the trust, and then I'll tell you about the work, the actual work that brings in the money. One evening I couldn't sleep. It was one of the full moons. Yes, we need to have a whole conversation about full moon. And I couldn't, and I remember just meditating and asking, my prayer and my meditation mantra is, guide me, show me, guide me. Your will, not mine. Your will, not mine. So that's my spiritual practice. And something as clear as your voice right now said, you are the product. You are the product. And I could not understand at first. Obviously, when you hear something so profound from the spirit realm, it stays with you the whole day. And I remember what it meant. One day I was typing on Facebook, my perfect place, my happy home. And I realized that what I'm doing on Facebook is actually the work, and I am the product. And the idea of starting a group with membership fee where people can pay me for the work, because it is work, came to mind. And if it was the old Lebo, if it was 2014, firstly, that idea would never even have crossed my mind. But if it had crossed my mind then, I was going to fight it tooth and nail. So all I did was, okay, guide me, show me. And the way the idea to charge for my services and for my postings and for my work intensified and intensified and intensified until I announced it late last year. And here's the miraculous thing. A lot of people did not even hesitate. If anything, they just felt that maybe the subscription is a bit too low, but I am happy with the subscription. Remember, you need to be happy with your price. I'm very happy with my price. And people have joined. We're sitting with about 500 odd members now. And I have trust in my heart that all of, do the maths, baby. Do the maths. 480 per person times 507. But the money, and I always say to the people in the group, that the money is not all going to my back pocket. The money is to continue the work. So I'm going to get deeper into the work. I'm going to have more time to read, to consume knowledge, to travel, to show up in the world the way that the universe wanted me to show up. And I can't do that without money. And I'm no longer guilty about saying that, because, the old me would be so, oh my God, what is it, So that's one. Yeah. So I have a group called Stretch with Lebo Pule. It is subscription. You pay 480 once a year. Which basically comes from 40 rands a month, because it's a magazine type. I run my group like a show, so it's 40 rands a month. But I really don't want to deal with 40 rands every month, so pay the whole annual fee. And happily, people are paying it. Others who are still nagging, they can do 2-part payments. I have agreed to that. That's one. Yeah. The second thing that happened last year, after the authenticity and inviting the spirit of money into my life, an investment company started on my wall. The idea was from one of my friends. You remember all that. So there's a group called FOLP Investment Company, and believe it or not, FOLP stands for Friends of Lebo Pule Investment Company. I fought that name like with everything I have, and I didn't win. People said, listen, it's started here. So it's going to be called, it's going to be Friends of Lebo Pule Investment Group. So the company is registered, people are contributing, we're sitting pretty happy. There's about 107 of us. We contribute 1,000 rands a month. Apparently it's a lot for something and all paying, hey? Well, there's defaulters here and there, but you always get that. But 107, 1,000 rands a month. The whole thing was launched in November in style, and the businesses operate. The third thing that happened on Facebook, through my Facebooking, because I am the product, is a dating site. How it happened, someone wrote to me and said, you have so many amazing people on your wall. I'm looking for a man. Here's my description. Here's what I want. I posted. 2 days later, my inbox was full of other people wanting the same thing. And a friend of mine who happens to be an investor said, listen, girl, let's start a dating site. So the dating site is on. We're busy revamping the website now so that it has an app. It's really good. So 3 things came out of my Facebooking: Stretch with Lebo Pule, Soul Blaze Connections, the dating, and FOLP Investment. Yeah, baby, I'm thriving now.
Wow, that is absolutely incredible. Lebo, I'm loving this. So I guess now is actually a good time for me to not keep asking the questions, but to open up the lines to everybody. So guys, I'm opening up the lines to everyone, because I think we've been talking for 45 minutes. And so you can ask Lebo any questions that you have for the next 15 to 20 minutes about her relationship with money, how she changed it, what she did. Okay, so just give me 2 minutes, literally, and then everybody is unmuted. Okay, so everyone will be unmuted. If you have background noise, please just be aware that right now we can hear everything that's going on in your world. Okay. So okay, does anyone have any questions for Lebo? Feel free to just shout it out on the line.
I almost towards the gate down there. I don't know which one you can. Because if it's a top one, then
Hello? Okay, no questions?
Lebo, can you hear me? It's Harold.
Yes, Harold, we can hear you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for this opportunity, and I trust you guys all well as well. How did you overcome the issue of not taking money? My own experience is every year I get asked to do an hour and a half lecture with some students at the university. And they've said, well, how much do we charge you, or how much should we give you? And I've just always said, look, it's fine. I'll do it as a freebie, because I just enjoy doing this kind of thing. How do you get past that? And what is the reason that we don't want to take money?
Hello? Lebo? Okay, Harold, something really strange just happened. Okay, I think Lebo is back. Can you please repeat your question, Harold? I think Lebo missed that.
Okay. My question is, Lebo was talking about not taking money initially. And so I do an annual hour-odd lecture at the university here in Port Elizabeth. And it's students from overseas. So they've always asked me, so how much should we, or send us an invoice, or send us an account? And I said, no, it's fine. I'm okay, doing it as a freebie, because it's just something that I enjoy doing. So how do you get past that? And what would be one of the reasons spiritually that we don't want to take money? I don't know if Lebo heard that now.
I think she did. Lebo?
Hi, can you hear me? I heard that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so can I go ahead and answer?
Yes, please do.
You have to remember that our background as a people. Someone is making noise. You need to mute other people.
Hello, who's talking? Okay, it's Ayanda and Refilwe. Ayanda and Refilwe, we can hear you. Hello.
You can mute me. Please mute me.
Okay, muting you.
Okay, sorry for that. Let me answer. Let me start again. You need to remember that a lot of us come from a religious background, whether we are aware of it or not. And there is that ingrained thing that says money is evil and the meek will always inherit the heaven, as opposed to the rich. You can hear me, right? Because I'm battling here. So that is... For me, that is where the root cause is. But how you overcome it is that you need to get to a place where you are very comfortable. How I did it was, I would sit and I would say, okay, I've been invited to go and talk at this place. How much do I need? So you start from a comfortable place where you need. So if you think, you must think about the things that you honestly need. And if there is nothing that you need and you feel you can do it pro bono, then go ahead and do it pro bono. You don't have to feel pressured to charge. So I like your spirit for that matter. But when you know that my laptop is old and I need a new laptop, then we charge based on your needs. Does that make sense? Because how I got here was one morning I would wake up and I would ask myself, what do I need? I need to go to 2 meetings. What does that cost? It costs about 200 rands. Then I need 200 rands for the day. So you get to a place where you live like Jesus says, do not worry about tomorrow. For tomorrow will take care of itself. I know it's a big, windy spiritual answer, but I hope it helps.
Harold, how do you feel about that answer?
I think that is actually what that's what I've been looking for. It is that spiritual connection, and yes, coming from a religious background as well, and I think it makes a lot of sense to understand what do I need, and then working from that perspective first. It has clarified it for me. As I said, because it's okay, I can do that, but it does cost petrol to get there. It does cost a bit of my time to be prepared.
Yeah.
And what do I need? So. And I think that if I can charge in the future, then it'll cover even if it just covers the overheads for me to get there.
Yes.
So that has made a lot of sense there, yeah.
And slowly you need to, because the other thing that you need to remember, Harold, is that there has to be some form of exchange of energy. When you don't receive, there has to be some exchange of energy. So the best exchange of energy is money. So when you deny them their own right to receive money when you don't receive from them. We are all one, remember that. Yeah. So get something and give something and let it flow. So when you don't take money, when you refuse to charge all the time, especially if you do have to, you're cutting off the flow. You're cutting the flow.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens, especially when it comes to charging, is people are not aware of this. Of like when you're doing things for free, the energy outflow, your work is energy. So you are giving energy. But when you don't receive any back from the universe in terms of money or mainly money or similar kind of work, what's happening is that you're giving energy, but you're not getting replenished with energy. So money is energy. So what ends up happening is that's when people end up getting depleted. That's when you'll hear someone feeling resentful. They don't want to do this because they've been depleting their energy and they're not refueling the energy in any way. It's not coming back in a similar kind of work. It's not coming back in terms of money. So your energy, you're actually not fueling energy, because whatever goes out must come in. That is the law of the energy. If you're giving energy out, you must get energy back.
Absolutely.
I like that.
We must write a book together then.
Lebo, I'm already thinking, dude, we need to have these so often. Like, I'm going to be booking quite a few of these because it's just been so good.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any other questions for Lebo?
Hello, I see you.
I see you in the office.
And she's in the office. She's stealing office time. That's good.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, Ayanda.
Hi, Ayanda.
It's Namveliso.
Oh, Namveliso.
Hi.
I just want to say, great session. I'm learning a lot. So thank you so much for all your openness.
Okay. Hi. Nice to hear from you.
Thank you.
Is that all, Nomveliso?
Yes. Just saying thank you and great session.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Boring. We want questions.
Anyone have any more questions? We have another 5 minutes left. So if you have any questions, this is a good time to ask them.
Okay, maybe can I expand on the exchange thing, the freebies, and can I ask another question?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so in my case, as you know, Vangida, I've been battling with pricing. So recently, I'm really, sometimes people send me emails to do free talks and such. So I'm trying to move away from that. So how do I deal with the guilt of of moving away from freebies when I know that they're exhausting me anyway?
Yeah. Hey, gosh. Must I start or do you wanna say? Let me start because I'm the guest.
Lebo, please.
And unfortunately, Nomveli. So you need to do your work, and the work is every day. Find an hour, find 20 minutes where you are talking to that guilt. Remember, I spoke about how my mantra and my prayer was guide me, show me. Your will be done. So when you could just start a mantra specifically on guilt, where you're saying, what do you want? Guilt? What do you need from me? How can we work together? You know, for me, honestly, you have to just go cray. You have to go crazy, find your corner, and deal with this. And this is the work that a lot of people don't want to do. People want easy answers.
This is
so
the work that people don't want to do. When I tell people that before I even started on Heart, Mind, and Money and doing anything, I spent 6 months for 8 hours a day for 6 months. All I did was this work. Where all I did was talking to my emotions, sitting with my depression, sitting with my anxiety, talking to myself. And it was hard. It was hard work. But you know what? When I look at it, to be honest, is that 6 months compared to the rest of my life is nothing. Because what most people don't understand is that for 6 months of my life, I spent 6 months of my life dealing with things that had been plaguing me for the whole of my life.
Yes.
So if it took 6 months to clear and eradicate things that I'd been dealing with for up until the time, I think when I started this work, I was like 27. For 27 years of my life, I'd been dealing with a lot of the stuff. I can see that if I hadn't done that and I hadn't gone on this journey, I would have spent another 27 years dealing with it.
Yeah, and going through the motions. Essentially, not really. So all the guilt is saying is that there is something we need to do. There's a lot of work we need to do. So the guilt is there as an indication that more work needs to happen. More work. With me, it was anxiety. I don't suffer from regrets. I don't have a lot of guilt, but I have anxiety, and I used to have shame, and the shame of having made a lot of money and lost it. So I had to deal with a lot of shame. Even now, I get moments of shame that I always say, okay, so you are back here. What is it? And then shame will tell you what it wants. Everything that happens in your emotions and in your psyche just wants attention. That's all. That's all it wants. You give it attention, it tells you what it needs. But unfortunately, my friend, it takes a lot of interior work. And this, Vangile, I always say that if people were to get what we are saying now, you and I will be out of business.
Yes.
It's all interior work.
Actually, it's all the interior work that you need to do. That's all that I always say to people. It's that there really is, and this is why I absolutely refuse to have this whole like quick fix, 30 days to fix your life. There's no such, because you have been older than 30 days. So every single day you continue to build on the drama. I remember when I started meditating where the teacher said that first depression, anxiety, all these things were just guests. They would come and visit us. But over time, they became so prominent. They have now become the guests of honor in our lives.
Fear is the guest of honor.
Yeah, and it's like that. And then now think of it, that every time you act from a place of fear, think of fear as first you draw a line. And it's like a line drawn in the river. And then slowly, and if you draw it in the sand, first, it can be blown over. Then the next day, I teach myself to react with fear. Can be blown over. But every day, I'm drawing the same line in the same place in the ground. Eventually, it is so deep, it's not even a crack. It's become a hole. To blow that over means that I now need to carry bundles of sand just to cover it up. So that's the work. The bundles of sand is all the work. Because now you have taught yourself to just keep digging. And the digging is all your behavior and your reaction with the emotion. So
and your habits.
Yeah, so these are habits. So now we have to work on cleansing those habits. So the quick fix cannot just happen in like a few days. Because we have lived to be this age and we have taught ourselves day after day after day to react in certain ways. Like I had taught myself to worry about money. Yeah, that was my thing. It was just worry. And I shocked myself recently because I was looking at all my travel schedule for this year. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm going to so many countries to do workshops and things. Then I started panicking. Will I be able to do it? Will this not drain me financially, et cetera, right? And so I think one of the things that I found myself doing, and this happened like 2 weeks ago, I was like, whoa, that just happened. And I just said to myself, there was this voice that came up clearly immediately the worrying started. And I said, I choose not to worry. I will not spend another minute worrying about this. And that for me was like, whoa, how far have I come? But that was just because I realized that it wasn't that I've just come so far. It's just that I've done the work on the worry so much that suddenly my subconscious was no longer interested in worrying. My spirit no longer wants to do that. So that's why I was like, I choose not to worry. And instantly, I haven't been worried. I'm just like, you know what? When the travels come up, I know my travel dates. I'm just going to roll with it. I just have to be an organized human being and just deal.
Yeah. No, I love the river metaphor. It took you 27 years to dig up this hole, but then you think you'll go to a workshop for 2 weeks and it's going to be done. Nah, guys.
Yeah.
Interior.
The tools. You work with the tools.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lebo, I've got some comments for us, and then we can close the talk. So I'm just gonna read them quickly if I can get to them. You can tell, right, that like I'm also sometimes this kind of is not that easy for me. Software. Okay, how do I get to the comments? I was just seeing them come up. Okay, I can't figure out how to read the comments. Give me 5 seconds. Okay. Sorry, guys, I can't read your comments. I really wanted to, but maybe I'll post them in the newsletter, which goes out with the recording today. So.
Oh, today! Wow, nice.
Yeah,
I can then share it with my stretchers and share it also on my podcast. I have a podcast. I must interview you now that you're in town.
Nice.
Yeah, I have a podcast, girl. You know, we are the next thing.
Yes. No, I'm so loving it. Okay. Yeah, honestly, I can't. I don't know what I did. Like, I just had the chat, and then I can't see chats at all anymore.
I can see them. I can see them, but it's people basically thanking us. It's people thanking us. Someone says no questions from me. Thanks for the session. Thank you. Thanks for a lot of sharing. Please remind. Someone wants to know what Folk Investment and Dating Site is.
Okay.
It's fine. I'll inbox you about that. Thanks for the session. Thank you both. Lovely session. No questions. Very informative. Yeah, no, those are the comments.
Okay, awesome. So thank you so much, Lebo. Do you have anything that you want to add and share with everyone before we close off for today?
Well, I would like to say anyone who has ever followed me on Facebook and wants to still get the same but slightly deeper stuff, do join Stretch with Lebo Pule. It is really worth your time and worth your money. There's a lot that I give there. The other thing is on the 21st, Vangile will be in town. Joe and Temba will be having a whole morning together. So come through. It's 450. You can contact Joe for that. And from me, I wish. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes, I can still hear
2017 to bring out the best version of yourself, to bring out a more humbler, more enlightened, more aware, more self-conscious, in a good way, self. Because honestly, all it takes is awareness, self-consciousness, and being present in your life. Pay attention to your life. It's speaking to you all the time. Pay attention to your money. It is telling you stories that you need to hear. Your money situation is a big part of who you are. So it took me forever to grasp it, but I've grasped it, but I'm still learning. Thank you. Otherwise, I'll talk forever, Mina, you know, so let me shut up.
Yeah. So, guys, again, I can't stress enough how incredible the session on the 21st is going to be. As Lebo has already mentioned, Joe she's been a big part of my journey as an entrepreneur. Actually, in my book, Heart, Mind, Money, I talk about not a financial coach, but a coach that I worked with, a life coach that I worked with when I was really depressed and I was struggling. So the first ever life coach I worked with was Jo, and she changed my life. And I mean, I don't say that very lightly, but Jo is one of the most incredible life coaches that I have ever come across. And I've worked with many life coaches over the years.
Jo gives
back
too
to
much.
Jo.
Jo is the real deal.
She is the real deal. When they say someone is doing a calling, that is Jo. So if you want to see some real benefits in your life, I really do recommend the session on the 21st. So Saturday the 21st, it will be at Leafy Greens. And don't worry, I will be sending out all the details again in a few minutes together with the recording. So you'll see the flyer and I'll give you details on how to contact Jo to make your booking. Seriously, do yourself a favor and come through to that networking branch. Like I said, one of the most incredible humans that I know. Okay. So
thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. That was Lebo Pule. And as mentioned, I'll be sending the recording to you and I'll be sending you more details about Saturday, January 21st. And if you haven't already done so, I do recommend that you start checking out the Holistic Wealth Manifesto and looking at that and working through it. It's a free gift from Wealthy Money. So you should have received it when you signed up for the Wealthy Money Tribe. So work through that. It will also help you a lot when it comes to finances because it discusses a lot of the things that we've touched on here today. And it has some practical exercises to help you through. So, as usual, I am going to leave you and love you, and I look forward to seeing you all in South Africa. I leave tomorrow. Actually, I fly out in a few hours. I am very, very excited. Have a fantastic evening, and Lebo, thank you again for coming through and doing this class with us. You have been incredible, and I'm going to be in touch about doing a few more classes through within the next few months. I hope for 2017 you'll be willing to dedicate some of your time to do classes.
No, absolutely. It's about time we do this together. And next time, I promise you, I'll put the video on. I just forgot the visuals so they can see me. I just forgot to do my makeup, and I'm not as brave as you. You know, vanity rules my life. I want to look pretty.
I am so used to it. Remember, I spend so much time in ashrams, and I'm just used to sometimes having to go. I've done camps and spiritual retreats where we can't shower and wash for 7 days because we're in the jungle and in the mountains. So I think
you can miss me on that. I'll never. No, hell no. And Vapisa, no, I want to put my lip gloss. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Thank you, Lebo, and we'll talk about more dates and arrange more things. So everyone, have a phenomenal weekend. Have a lovely day. Bye.
Bye. Bye. My daughter likes to say bye. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so ending meeting.